What is going on, everyone? We are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are...
HellaDepraved.
Alright, so bear with us. She gets dizzy.
As long as I'm not moving too much.
She or I am not moving too much.
Well, that would be helpful too. Yeah.
We're going to try and get a few reactions out in hopes that we don't fall too far behind. I'm not worried about falling behind. I just, I would rather you be, well...
I don't want to fall behind too bad.
Super excited for this, though. So this is actually a review.
Yeah.
This was the other Halestorm song that was...
Requested during a live.
And it's a good song. We're going to talk about it after we listen to it.
So we've only heard this once.
Yeah, we've only heard it once. Super
excited. Again, it was during a live, so it wasn't the best concentration. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so here we are. We're going to review this as if you guys have already heard it. If not, click the link in the description below. Hop on over to other things. Coming back because we're commentary, reaction, breakdown, comedy channel. And what that means is we will pause for any and or all of the above. No video because it's just a picture.
Right.
So with that being said, it's time to slash it up and break it down. This is Halestorm with Strange Girl.
Nice.
Let's get it.
Do I make you scared? Do I make you wanna just stop and stare? We're bizarre, unusual, silly and sick, atypical, a perfect picture of your fucking worst nightmare. Do I make you frightened? Do I make you fear for your life when you're so certain I'll infect you where I'm near?
Honestly, I think this is how every girl should leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is what we should aspire to instead of duck face and stuff like that.
I, in a roundabout way, can relate to this song.
Right?
Not being a strange girl. Stick around for story time with Depraved after we get through this. But yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a much better.
It's kind of almost like almost a fight back to somebody who judged a book by its cover. Like somebody coming at them and being like, "Oh, you're different. Somebody like you scares me. You."
Yeah, or somebody that told her to smile one too many times, or she'd look nicer if she didn't always wear black, or...
Right.
There's plenty of little put-downs because you're not the cookie-cutter, pastel-wearing sweet girl. So, I get it. Like I said, I think this is more what you should aspire to. Because definitely brains fall into this category, too. Oh, you're too smart.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can damn me straight to hell. You can crucify my name. You can throw me to the walls. You can burn me in the flame and say she's such a strange girl, such a strange girl. The world needs strange girls just like me. Catch me out, abandon me, write me off for dead. Ridicule me to feel like I'm your deepest dread. You say she's such a strange girl, such a strange girl. The world needs strange girls just like me.
Agreed.
Are you a strange girl just like her?
And maybe not just like her, but I'm definitely a strange girl. Here's the thing. Go out and do something that would have gotten you burned at the stake 200 years ago. And honestly, that list is not small.
Please don't go out sacrificing virgins. That's not...
That's not what I said either. I said go out and do something that would have gotten you. Right. But the list is ridiculous if you look back on what they accused people, mostly women, not just women, though.
Right.
In order to, say they were witches or whatnot. Like, their well had too much water. Yeah. I did that. Sure. But any type of learning, any type of otherness, any type of mole. I mean, come on now. Come on now.
Would you call me daughter? Would you love me when my halo's bent and crooked when you call me malcontent? Sad, sicker than usual. Can't you be more like the girl next door instead of little misfit? So you can damn me straight to hell. You can crucify my name. You can throw me to the walls. You can burn me in the flame and say she's such a strange girl, such a strange girl. The world needs strange girls just like me. Cast me out, abandon me, write me off for dead. Ridicule me to feel like I'm your deepest dread. You say she's such a strange girl, such a strange girl. The world needs strange girls just like me. Do you hate me just to change me to be just like you? To be just like you. Do you fear me to make me feel empty? So I'm just like you. I will never be like you.
I get this strange feeling Lizzie would not make a very good Stepford wife.
No. Which is a good thing. Neither would I. Which is a good thing. I mean, here's the thing. If that is your natural state of being, go you.
Isn't that the movie where they're all actually robots?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Not everybody is even close to the cookie cutter mold. And we shouldn't try to be. And it is, again, not just women, but most often women that are demonized for working outside of any type of mold. Being too smart or interested in men's work or dressing in black or not smiling or not being demure or, the list goes on and on and on. Of course, it's not just women. It does happen. But the world is meant to be unique and diverse. And it would be awful boring, except for the people in charge, who I think would think that the world would turn quite well if we all aspired to be the same. But it is sad that we use hate and fear and all versions of that to try and persuade people to fit into societal norm.
Right.
Never be you. So you can damn me straight to hell. You can crucify my name. You can throw me to the walls. You can burn me in the flame and say she's such a strange girl, such a strange girl. The world needs strange girls just like me. Cast me out, abandon me, write me off for dead. Ridicule me to feel like I'm your deepest dread. You say she's such a strange girl, such a strange girl. The world needs strange girls just like me, just like me, just like me.
I do love that song.
Good song. Good song. You guys ready for my story?
Sure.
Now, not in relation to, like, being a strange girl, but she had the line at the beginning that's like, do I make you fear for your life or something like that.
Right.
So many moons ago, I was a janitor. I've told you this story.
Okay.
And I was working at Eli Lilly's. And somebody had been caught sleeping under a desk. It was me. Except I wasn't actually sleeping. I was trying to sleep.
Yeah, there's such a world of difference.
It does. And I was hiding in one of the conference rooms. And I was hiding underneath the table of a conference room. And as I'm laying there, waiting for everybody to leave the building, somebody on their way out decides to come into the conference room, which never happened before, of the one that I was hiding out in. So this person comes in, and she gets on the phone and starts walking around, pacing while on the phone. Now, instead of just being perfectly still, I was trying to move around under the table to be out of her line of sight. And at some point made more noise than I needed to.
Yeah, that probably made things worse.
At which point she looked under, seen me, said I'm sorry, and then left. About a month later, she finds me personally as everyone's leaving again, and this time I'm actually cleaning. And she tells me, she's like, hey, just to let you know, I'm not going to go to your bosses about what... And, like, I'd done forgotten this fucking thing even happened, right? And she's like, I'm not going to tell your bosses, you know, what you were doing. She's like, but just to let you know, like, you did startle me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
And
half the conversation should have happened a month ago.
Right. So she left. And then a couple weeks later, I got pulled into the office. And when I got pulled into the office, she was sitting in one of the chairs. So I knew
Right.
what I was being pulled into the office for. And my boss was like, so, and when I walked in, she shook her head to signify that it was me. Whoever it was she was talking about. It was me. And my boss goes, okay, so you were caught laying or hiding underneath the desk. I was like, I was. And then she was like, at which point the lady looks at me and goes, yeah, I was afraid for my life. And I stopped her. And I was like, okay, if you're afraid for your life now, just wait.
Well, then.
I knew I was getting fired anyways. And I got up,
suppose.
I walked out, went and cleaned out my locker,
Right.
and left. Now, please note, I legit had no intent on bothering her
Right.
or anything. But I'm hoping
From start to finish.
she spent the next 6 weeks to a year of her life fearing
I mean, here's the thing.
that I was going to be around every corner.
Here's the thing. Okay, so while I don't condone scaring women in public places, not to say that what you did should have, but we are conditioned to live in fear. Okay, a walk to the car is not just a walk to the car. We're
Right.
amped. But had I gone into a conference room that I thought was empty to talk smack on the phone, possibly be caught saying something that I knew I didn't want spread around, because there's got to be more to this story from her end, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden I realized that there is some weird ass dude creeping underneath the conference tables, because that was you. But then I go, I'm sorry. And I turn around and leave. Without screaming, shrieking, stumbling backwards. I mean, like, maybe I don't want to let on that you scared me. That's one approach. I've certainly used that one before. But the incident is over. And weird dude didn't follow me. That's a A for that day in my book, right? So then I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it. I am not waiting a goddamn month, for starters, to approach you. Second of all, a week goes by. I finally see you again. Maybe it's taken that long to actually see you again. And I come up to you and I say, hey, you startled me. I'm not sure what you were doing under there, but how about we make a deal? You don't repeat anything that I was saying, if you even heard anything. And
Which
I
I
don't.
didn't. I was
Yeah.
too busy trying to not be seen.
I don't mention that you were. I don't know what you were doing, but that you were there. That you were doing what you were doing, but I don't know what you were doing, okay? And we just leave it at that. Like, if I even approach you. But if I have gone out of my way to approach you, I'm not waiting a month, because then you weren't really scared now, were you? Or worried about what you said on the phone, or because you waited a month. He could have told anyone in that time. But then, I'm not going to break my word. Because what is she getting out of it is the thing. Like, what did she get out of it 2 months later?
What makes me the most mad of this whole situation
It's so confusing. That's what makes
is
me mad.
if I was going to get fired by the end of all of that happening, I really wish when she was in that conference room I'd have jumped out and been like, "What are you doing?"
Right. You wish you had legit, like... And I get that, but this is... Okay, this goes back to the whole, like... Of course, again, we don't know her story, but I can't imagine anything was that important that you held on to it for 2 months.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, there's this whole reporting stuff that goes on, and there are women that tank the whole system. Not to say there's not men that do it on the opposite end, but they tank the whole system by lying.
Right.
You know, and so what was she getting out of it to report you 2 months after the fact?
What it was, because, again, I do want you guys to understand, most people out there that work in a uppity
Firm. Right.
place,
Yeah.
lawyers, scientists, people of, the upper echelon of the workforce, I guess.
Right. People that have been educated enough to know that it's lawyer.
Whatever. I'm gonna start, obeying the law. So anyways, a lot of them are extremely uppity people.
True.
As a janitor, by the way, I have cleaned up messier things from adults than my own kids.
Yeah, I kind of believe that.
By no means, when you're eating popcorn, should 95% of the bag end up on the floor every day.
Yeah, but I've seen 6-year-olds do that too. But if you have passed the age of 16, you have no excuse.
Right.
None.
So, what I'm saying, though, is what she wanted when she approached me and what she did not get
Was you to fear for
was
your job.
me to, fear for my job and beg for forgiveness. And I won't beg anyone.
Especially not a month later. I'm sorry, but then it's lost all of its... Because you did not get in trouble for... Like, even if you were the begging kind, right? She waited a month. Nothing happened. You already have proof that nothing happened.
And honestly, I am happy at the way everything turned out, because what that tells me is I lived in this lady's head rent-free.
For at least 2 months.
For at least 2 months, while I didn't even think not one fucking bit
Right.
about her. And again, I come off of sounding really fucking creepy, but I'm really just that fucking spiteful.
Well, about incidents like that, I can understand, though.
Like, again, I'm not the type of person to just walk up and creep on fucking people.
No, and you were just trying to get a nap in.
Coworkers, maybe, because I'm weird like that. I like to hide behind corners and jump out and scare people.
Yeah, but they know you.
True. Or if
And
they
eventually
don't, they figure it
kind
out
of
pretty quick.
expect you coming, yeah.
But yeah, so, again, would I advise anybody to say some shit like that to somebody's face? No.
Absolutely not, unless, you're prepared to get fired.
But I knew I
or
was getting
arrested.
fired. There was no and ifs or buts about it.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to go out, I'll go out swinging. Fuck this bitch.
But honestly, yeah, everybody needs to be a little bit strange. We don't all need to be the same. And you definitely should not be pulling stunts like that woman. I'm sorry.
Don't be a cunt.
I just don't think that that's appropriate because, again, it's like crying wolf, but one person does it and then the person that really needs help is the one that is left out in the cold. And I don't think that that's forgivable. So, anyway, this is one of my favorites of Halestorm, and that's a long catalog to have it listed up that high. But
It's good.
yeah. You just need to be kind of a stranger girl.
Apparently.
Yeah. No.
Give me a vagina.
Well, I mean, they can do that now.
Anyways, if you guys liked the video, slash that like button, subscribe, but ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below. What did you think of Halestorm with Strange Girl? Also, comment down below if there's anything else you guys want to see reacted to. Check the description below for all the things.
Push our buttons. Come join us on our other social media platforms, mostly Twitter, if you want a quicker response.
We love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Cannot wait to see you depraved later. Peace.